What makes a scene unforgettable? Is it the dialogue, the tension, the violence, or the chilling calm at the heart of the chaos? In Quentin Tarantino's Reservoir Dogs, it's Michael Madsen's Mr. Blonde who hijacks the narrative. His sadistic serenity redefines what cinematic menace can be. Today we unpack how this character, in one disturbing moment, transforms a botched heist into one of the most haunting psychological studies in film history.
You kids shouldn't play so rough. Somebody's gonna start crying.
Reservoir Dogs exploded onto the indie film scene in 1992, a raw, stylish debut that introduced Quentin Tarantino's signature blend of non-linear storytelling, hyper-real dialogue, and brutal violence. Shot on a shoestring budget, the film centers on a diamond heist gone wrong, yet we never actually see the heist itself. Instead, Tarantino plunges us into the messy aftermath and the fractured trust between criminals, each codenamed by color: Mr. White, Mr. Pink, Mr. Orange, and Mr. Blonde. Each character plays a role in unraveling the mystery of what went wrong, but it's Mr. Blonde who grabs our attention and never lets go. With his sunglasses, silent stares, and simmering danger, he's both part of the group and utterly apart from it.
Are you gonna bark all day, little doggy? Or are you gonna bite?
Unlike his fellow criminals, Mr. Blonde, real name Vic Vega, doesn't operate by the same rules. While Mr. White values loyalty and Mr. Pink values self-preservation, Mr. Blonde seems driven by something darker, a thirst for control through violence. He doesn't just shoot, he enjoys it. His calm demeanor masks a terrifying unpredictability. Tarantino's color coding isn't arbitrary. White is cool-headed, pink is neurotic, orange is deceptive. Blonde? It doesn't fit the system, it's the wild card. Michael Madsen plays Vic with a coiled stillness, like a snake basking in the sun, waiting to strike. When the bullets start flying, he doesn't panic, he smiles. This dissonance is key. Mr. Blonde isn't emotional, he's clinical, and that makes him scarier. There's no rage, no regret, just performance. He's a sadist wearing the mask of a professional. He tells his crew he didn't start shooting for fun, but the moment he's alone with a captive cop, we see the truth. Mr. Blonde doesn't break under pressure. He becomes himself. In that warehouse, the line between bad guy and psychopath blurs, and Vic Vega steps fully into the role of a monster hiding in plain sight.
I don't really give a good fuck what you know or don't know.
It's the scene that made Reservoir Dogs infamous. A cop tied to a chair. A man in a black suit dancing to the upbeat groove of "Stuck in the Middle with You." And then, without warning, brutality. Mr. Blonde slices off the officer's ear with the kind of casual precision usually reserved for making a sandwich. He pours gasoline on the bleeding man, all while humming along. What makes this scene unforgettable isn't the violence, it's the contrast. Tarantino stages it like a twisted musical number. Michael Madsen, inspired by old-school gangsters and A Clockwork Orange, improvised the infamous dance. He sways, smirks, and toys with us. The violence is off-camera, but the horror is visceral. We hear the screams, we see the aftermath, and our imaginations fill in the rest. Even director Wes Craven reportedly walked out of the screening. The genius of the scene lies in how it shatters expectations. We've seen gangsters shoot each other, yell, rage. But this is intimate, slow, almost cheerful in its sadism. Mr. Blonde doesn't need to yell. He controls the room through silence and smiles. He's not just torturing the cop, he's torturing the viewer. The ear-cutting moment isn't just shocking, it reframes the entire film. This isn't just a heist movie, it's a study in psychological horror, and Vic Vega is the monster at its center. Tarantino's camera doesn't just observe Mr. Blonde, it conspires with him. The framing during the torture scene is deliberately voyeuristic. We're not positioned as distant observers. We're uncomfortably close. Over-the-shoulder shots put us in the cop's position. Close-ups linger on Mr. Blonde's smirk, his blade, the gas can. And then, the camera turns away. Just as he strikes, the lens pans off-screen, denying us the visual gore, but amplifying the dread.
Fire, Scary.
This decision heightens our discomfort. We're forced to imagine the violence. It makes us complicit. Tarantino invites us into the sadist's world, only to trap us in it. Visually, Mr. Blonde is all control. His movements are calculated, his gestures minimal. The duct tape over the cop's mouth becomes a chilling symbol, silence as power. In a film filled with men yelling over one another, Mr. Blonde dominates without saying a word. That's not just good acting, it's design. Every frame he's in feels like it might explode. But the explosion never comes when we expect it. That tension, visual, emotional, psychological, is what makes him so terrifyingly magnetic. Michael Madsen's performance as Mr. Blonde didn't just steal scenes, it defined a career. For many, this role became his legacy, the cool, collected sadist with a slow drawl and dead eyes. It launched a series of collaborations with Tarantino and typecast Madsen in tough guy roles for decades, but none ever matched the raw, unsettling power of Vic Vega. Beyond Madsen's career, Mr. Blonde carved out a lasting place in pop culture. He's been referenced in songs, spoofed in sitcoms, and studied in film schools. The ear-cutting scene became an emblem of Tarantino's style, sudden violence, ironic music, and moral ambiguity wrapped in sharp dialogue and black suits. His legacy only deepened after Madsen's death in 2025, a loss that sparked retrospectives and tributes. Critics re-evaluated his contributions not just to Tarantino's world, but to cinema's rogues gallery at large. Mr. Blonde was never just another gangster. He was something worse, something colder. In a film filled with colorful criminals, Vic Vega stood out not because of his color, but because of his darkness. And that darkness echoes far beyond the warehouse walls. Why does Mr. Blonde linger in our minds long after the credits roll? Because he breaks the rules of what a villain should be. He doesn't scream, rant, or justify. He just does. His calm is more disturbing than rage. His smile is more terrifying than any threat. He's the embodiment of what psychologists call affective flattening, an absence of emotional response that signals something deeply wrong. But there's more. Mr. Blonde represents the terrifying idea that evil doesn't need a reason. He wasn't pushed too far, betrayed, or desperate. He's violent because he enjoys it. That lack of motive makes him feel real. Not a cartoon villain, but the guy you might meet at a gas station, if you're unlucky. Tarantino pushes us into that discomfort by contrasting violence with humor, charm, and music. The result? An emotional dissonance that burns into memory. We laugh, then we feel guilty for laughing. Mr. Blonde is unforgettable not because of what he says, but because of what he doesn't. The silence, the smirk, the dance, they haunt us. And in doing so, they elevate Reservoir Dogs from cult classic to psychological landmark. Michael Madsen's Mr. Blonde isn't just a standout character. He's the engine that transforms Reservoir Dogs from a gritty crime film into a psychological thriller. Through subtle menace, offbeat humor, and shocking restraint, he redefines cinematic violence. The warehouse doesn't just hold a captive cop, it holds the audience too, strapped into the same chair, unable to look away. By dancing through brutality, by smiling through screams, Mr. Blonde forces us to confront a deeper fear, not chaos but calm, not the outburst but the silence before it. So, how does Michael Madsen's Mr. Blonde continue to define cinematic violence through psychological control? By reminding us that the scariest monsters aren't the loudest. They're the ones who smile and turn up the radio.